What's up everyone, Joey here. Today I'm going to share with you how I made $2,800 in one day. I'll share with you my creative process step by step, my thought process along the way, and a screenshot of the paid invoices so you know I'm not pulling your chain. It still amazes me how much organizations are willing to pay for balloon decorations. This was an exceptionally long day for me with two large events going on. Luckily, these two event times did not coincide with each other, so I had time for both. I woke up at 7 a.m. and arrived back home around 11 p.m., a 16-hour workday. It's important to note that although I made a lot of money on this particular day, these days are rare. I often go several days, sometimes weeks during the slow season without an event. It would be epic to have events like this happening every day, maybe someday, but for now, the reality is that my schedule is dictated by the events that I'm booked at. Let's head to my first event that I started building around 8 a.m. Oh, and you forgot something. Make sure you hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. That really helps me out. Not to mention it's good karma. Thanks. My first mission is to build a large balloon arch. For this, I built custom 2-foot by 2-foot bases that connect with metal piping that fits my 3/4 inch conduit. The metal piping screws into the plywood base and I use a water bag base to add weight to each side. I get the water bag weights from this balloon arch kit from Amazon. This kit is amazing, but it builds a smaller balloon arch that is about 20 foot in length, like this size. I need a much larger arch, like this one, so I use 3 10-foot pieces of conduit that link together to make a 30-foot length. I center the arch with the entryway, then widen the bases so that I can reach the top of the arch without a ladder. For any event, it's a good idea to bring an extension cord with you because you never know where the nearest outlet is going to be, especially for outdoor events. An extension cord allows me to build the balloon arch in the correct setup location instead of transporting the balloon decor from one location to another. I have other videos showing exactly how I'm building this arch, so check out those for a more detailed tutorial. The quick synopsis is that I fill up the water bags beforehand, use a cart to bring all my supplies to the setup location, set up the frame, plug my electric balloon inflator into an electrical outlet, create quads using balloons in the correct color scheme, attach the quads to the frame by swapping 2 balloons, attach the quads to each other using ribbon or fishing line, then secure the arch frame to something structural with paracord, which also comes with the balloon arch kit that I talked about earlier. It doesn't matter if I secure the sides or not. The top is really what I'm worried about with going back and forth like this when the wind comes. If the wind's coming from this side, the building is going to stop the arch from going any farther over. And if the wind is coming from the right side here, I have it secured to a screw in the bricks right here so that it can't go any farther away from the building. It takes me about 50 minutes from start to finish to build this large arch. I have a clock in a different video if you don't believe me, like this guy. I don't know what I'm saying here, probably just some gibberish about how lucky I am to have an overcast summer day because it's not so hot. It is 65 degrees and overcast. Just the best thing that I could ask for on a busy day like this. Yep, told you so. So predictable. Next mission, 6 balloon columns. It's almost 9 a.m. now and I need everything set up by 10:30 a.m., which should be plenty of time, right? Guys, I cannot express to you how amazing these balloon column frames are. These inventions are praiseworthy and definitely worth getting excited over. They are super affordable, high quality, and durable. The plastic base screws directly into the metal pole, which is a huge deal. I've tried other balloon column frames that do not connect to the base and they detach and fall over. The metal rod telescopes up to 7 feet and down to 1 foot for easy storage. This balloon column frame is by far the best quality for the price and I highly recommend them. I'm able to reuse these frames several times for events all year long. I'll put a link in the description below. Making balloon columns is pretty much the same concept as building a balloon arch. Inflate quads, attach them to the frame, attach the quads to each other with ribbon or fishing line, and secure a large topper to the top quad. That's it. 2 of these balloon columns will be going directly outdoors and 4 of them will be going indoors. But later on, I will be transporting them to an outdoor location, so I definitely want to make sure that I'm using ribbon or fishing line to secure all the quads to each other for each balloon column. Building 6 balloon columns takes me a little less than an hour, so now I've got about 30 minutes to set these up. The first 2 columns, easy. They belong in the room that I've been working in. The second 2 columns, still indoors, just down the hall from the room I've been working in. For my last 2 columns, these are a bit trickier. I need to walk about 1/4 mile to the entrance of the property and stake these into the ground. There's 4 stakes per column, so it takes a little bit of time. You can tell how strong the wind is blowing if you watch the unstaked balloon column looking like one of those inflatable tube guys outside of a car dealership. I have learned this lesson the hard way, everyone. If your balloon decor is going outdoors, secure the quads to the frame and secure the frame to something structural, even if the weather appears to be mild. You never know when the wind is going to pick up, and one gust of wind can ruin your hard work in an instant. Sometimes I'll attach paracord from one balloon column to a tree or light post on each side, but since I have soft ground that's not concrete or gravel, I'll stake these into the ground. I generally tie the paracord to the frame above the third or fourth quad and have 4 stakes surrounding the balloon column for as much stability as I can provide. I'm not going to waste any time, so I'm going to start inflating helium balloons for my second event today, since I'll be pretty pressed for time if I don't inflate them now. For inflating the helium balloons, I want the ribbon to be around 8 feet long, so what I can do is wrap my roll cart with ribbon. Each time around is about 8 feet, so I wrap the ribbon around 72 times and make one cut to create my 72 strands of ribbon. Next, I set up my high float dispenser on top of my helium tank so I can squirt a pea-sized amount into each balloon and spread it around the inside of the balloon before inflating it to make the helium stay in the balloon for up to several weeks. If I don't use high float, helium will leak out of the balloons within a few hours. For the next hour or so, I inflate balloons with the helium and put them into my car. You can tell as I reach the end of the helium tank that it takes a little bit longer to inflate each balloon. This is pretty standard, so if you've got an event where you need to do helium balloons, expect it to take a little longer because the helium doesn't come out of the tank as fast as when you first open it. Check out this balloon, trying to escape. Bam! Round them up, put them back in. I don't finish all the helium balloons I need to inflate because it's time to head back to my first event to relocate those 4 balloon columns. I pick up the columns by grabbing the metal frame as close to the waterway as possible and begin my journey. This is by far the farthest I have ever carried balloon columns. I looked at an aerial map and it was just under half a mile. Check out how far this was. Oh man, that was exhausting. Although I only recorded one trip, I took 2 trips along this path to get all 4 columns to this outdoor tent. I secured each column to the tent before making the second trip. After securing all of these columns to the tent poles, it's time to make the 45-minute drive to the second event. I wheel my cart full of supplies into this convention center, meet my point of contact, and figure out where all of their balloon decorations are going. The first decoration I build is a medium balloon arch. This is the balloon arch kit that I was talking about earlier. This is an extremely affordable and high quality balloon arch frame from Canvas that I found on Amazon. The balloon arch kit has stable plastic bases that firmly connect, reusable water bags that can be emptied for easy storage, and a foldable, flexible rod similar to a camping tent rod for stability and easy storage. It also comes with paracord and stakes for staking your arch into the ground or to other structures for stability if you're building an outdoor balloon arch. This balloon arch kit is a game changer for anyone wanting to build a balloon arch professionally or amateurly for a personal event. This kit comes with everything you need except the electric balloon inflator. It comes with a hand inflator, but in my opinion, it's faster to blow up the balloons with your mouth than it is to use the hand inflator. You should spend an extra 20 bucks to get a dual nozzle electric balloon inflator. Using an electric balloon inflator to inflate 2 balloons at once will make your balloon arch build so much faster and so much easier. I'll attach links in the description to the inflator that I use as well as this sweet balloon arch kit. Next on the to-do list are 4 balloon columns. I've already shown you the frames that I use, but I'll show you again because they're so amazingly convenient, affordable, and easy to use. A simple and sturdy telescoping metal rod tightens securely to a plastic base that is weighed down by a water bag base. These take up such a small amount of space when in storage and offer high quality balloon columns at an affordable price. Since all of these items are going indoors, I do not need to secure the quads to each other with ribbon or fishing line, but I still attach them to the frame. You can check out my other detailed tutorials for a more descriptive explanation on that. This party planner chose these 12-point star toppers for the columns, which I think are a great choice for a luxury event like this. Next, it's time to inflate the rest of my helium balloons. I've found that it's easiest and fastest to inflate them first, then organize them into groups afterwards. After I have all the helium balloons inflated, I start to arrange them into groups and attach them to weights. For this event, I'm making 12 groups of 6 balloons each. When arranging the helium balloons, there are a few different techniques that can be used. I'm arranging them so that each balloon sits slightly under the balloon above it. The idea for these helium balloons is to take up as much space as possible. Since there are only 6 balloons in each group, I want to spread them vertically so that they look like they're taking up as much space as possible without leaving too much space within the bunch. After I've arranged the groups, I need to curl the excess ribbon attached to each balloon. This makes it look fancier than just leaving the ribbon uncurled, which can often make your work look messy or sloppy. I also need to cut the excess ribbon at the bottom of each group to tidy them up. These are small things you can do that shows your event host that you are paying attention to detail. After I add those finishing touches, we can bring the balloons to their setup locations. And for one additional sparkling detail, we add LED light strands to the balloon decor to match the theme of their event, which is Starry Night. Look at how elegant this balloon decor looks with the dazzling lights. I'm super stoked on how this turned out, and I hope to use more lighting in my future balloon decor builds.
Slow to start, all right, don't rush it. Wait for the base to drop.
Wow, it has been a busy day so far. Just finished my second setup. I'm headed back to the first setup, break that down, and then head straight back here to break this one down. Woo! First, I need to take the stakes out of the ground and detach any paracord that is securing my balloon decor to something structural. Leaving the area looking exactly how you found it or better is a great way to show your event host that you value their business. I bring the balloon decor near a trash can and pop all the balloons in one area to make sweeping them up a little bit easier. Is it just me, or is it kind of fascinating to watch all of these balloons being popped? There's something in the human mind that finds this kind of tidying or cleaning very intriguing. I make sure to roll up my paracord for later use, empty the water bags, and dispose of any evidence that an event ever took place here. I'm able to use the last little bit of daylight to break down these last balloon columns at my first event. After this, I still need to head back to my second event to break down. It's been a long day of constantly building balloon decor and traveling back and forth, but it's been worth it. I made about $1,200 for the first event and $1,600 for the second event. I'm showing you my prices for transparency, but you need to keep in mind that I have been working with these organizations for years, and I offer them deals to retain them as customers. Depending on when and where you're watching this, these prices might not mean anything to you. Inflation is about 3% every year, so prices are always going up, but I try to keep my prices as some of the lowest in the industry to attract more customers. The prices in my city may also vary drastically from what you could make in your city. You also need to remember that I don't take home all of this money. I have expenses for these individual events like supplies and travel, but I also have other expenses like marketing, softwares for scheduling, booking, and invoicing, and other expenses. I didn't record my breakdown at the second event because there were a lot of minors and that seemed like a headache for video editing. But yes, after I finished breaking down my first event, I went straight back to my second event and broke everything down to get my supplies. It's 10:34, just got done breaking down, finally done for the day. I hope you've enjoyed learning about my $2,800 day. Don't forget to like this video for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe for more balloon and business content. To get involved in some of our balloon challenges, subscribe to our free weekly newsletter to get updates on how to win up to $1,000 using your creative skills. Check out Joey Balloon's merch on our website if you enjoy the channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace!